Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to send you on your way today, off to have a stellar day. So let's just take a couple of nice deep breaths to settle into right here, right now. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I want you to imagine the crown chakra, good. Haven't worked with this mouth for a while. Spinning open. Breathe in, breathe out. Drawing down healing golden light from above, filling your whole body with every inhale. Good morning, Diane. You are first today. Woohoo! It's going to be a good day. Exhale it down through your whole body, filling yourself. Good morning, Peggy. Welcome. Filling yourself up with this healing golden light down into all of your fingers and toes. Good morning, Abigail. Good morning, Lucy. Good morning, good morning. Glad everybody's here. Breathing in, breathing out, exhaling that healing golden light into every cell of your being, because that's going to set us up beautifully for today's card, which is going to challenge you to do something, to change something. Breathing in. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Glad you are here. Breathing out. Just kind of shaking off the night. Ready for a new day. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. So, this is one of those decks that, kind of like the Oracle of E deck, the Notes from the Universe on Abundance deck, is kind of a cheeky deck. It challenges you with humor to look at how you're creating your own limitations. Okay? So, this is a card that will offer you the opportunity, if you're willing to take it, to shift from feeling like a victim to feeling like you're in charge of your life. You are empowered, you make choices, the universe co-creates with you. Sometimes you'll ask for something and the universe says no because something bigger and better is awaiting. But knowing that you have far more power in terms of creating your world than you think you do. And some of you are going to be like, I don't want that responsibility. Guess what? You already have it. So you might as well exercise it for your outcomes to be how you'd like them to be, to benefit you and others, than to shirk your responsibility, as it were. So, Notes from the Universe on Abundance by Mike Dooley. And here's our very pretty card for today. It is a spring card. Good morning, Gwen. Welcome. So standing at the base of the tree and shooting up into the beautiful flowers. I'm not sure where that is spring, but it's spring somewhere there. So more nice deep breaths. Just opening yourself to receiving. Good morning, Judy. We got a really fun, powerful card today. So just breathing. Breathing yourself open. Breathing yourself willing. Breathing yourself emptied of old beliefs, old thoughts, stuck points, limitations. Good morning, Mel. You're just in time. We're just getting started. Here is our card for the day. Breathing all that out. It's not you anyway. It's crap you took on throughout the course of your lifetime. Kind of like we're walking along our life's path. Well, there's some garbage. I'll pick that up. Walking along our life's path. There's some more garbage. I'll pick that up. Oh, look. A great big old tire. I'll carry that around for the rest of my life. No. Set this junk down. You don't need it. It's not yours in the first place. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. And now we're up to my favorite number 8, Infinity. Love it, love it. Okay, so here it is. And I'll read it multiple times because I really want it to sink in. And I really want it to sink in on that level that needs to hear it and needs to work with it. Oh, I like that. God's morning, practical rebels. That is cool. That is cool. Sometimes those typos are just amazing, aren't they? So here we go. The great thing about material things, so I want you to think about the material things you have and the material things that you wish you had, etc., etc. The great thing about material things, those you have and those you don't, is that they never lie about what you've been thinking. They never lie about what you've been thinking. What a relief, huh? Thoughts become things. The universe. So, all those parts of you that are going, huh? what is he talking about? Let's have a chat. Basically, what he's saying there is we are creating our reality, one thought at a time. And our thoughts beget our feelings. We like to think that, no, something crappy happens. Thank you, Cindy, for posting that. Something crappy happens, and we feel something. So someone cuts me off in traffic, and I'm mad. Someone yells at me, and I feel hurt. That's not how it goes. There is a step in the middle. This is the ABCs of emotion, if you haven't heard of it before. Albert Ellis, ABCs of emotion. The A is the activating event. What literally happened, okay? We think we jump right to C, the consequences or feelings. The B step in the middle is our beliefs. And for the most part, they are subconscious beliefs. And we've talked about the subconscious before, right? 95% of your total consciousness is operating below the level of your awareness. All right? So something happens, we have a lightning fast thought about it, running it through our filters, our rose-colored glasses, our clear glasses, our shit-colored glasses, whatever we're wearing that day, and out comes an emotion. So let me give you an example. I'm driving in traffic. That's the activating event. Someone cuts me off. I think subconsciously in that lightning fast way, he's just being a jerk because he's a man. He thinks he owns the road, blah, 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 and I'm angry. Or I think, oh my God, he just about killed me. What the heck? And I'm scared. Or I think, he must be having a bad day. I'll just let him in. Moving on. Bless you on your way, dude. And I feel practically a little disgusted, but not all those other emotions, right? So the activating event is the same in each of those three scenarios. Someone cuts me off in traffic. What I tell myself, the beliefs, the subconscious lightning fast belief is different based on my templates, my learning, my history, my interpretation as a child of various events. It could be, I must not matter. That's why he cut me off. And I feel disempowered. But the outcomes are all different based on what I told myself. And again, here's the hard part. Because it's subconscious for the most part, that's one of the reasons I coach people, is because we can use tools to figure out what that subconscious stuff is and change it so that what comes out the other end is a positive kind of a feeling. Even in difficult circumstances, I can handle this. I'm going to let this go and move on, whatever it's going to be. All right. So again, going back, those things never lie about what you've been thinking. So if you don't like what you're getting in life right now, take a look at what you're thinking. Someone wrote me a message the other day about how unhappy she was with her life. And I will guarantee you, a little bit of it showed up in that message, but I will guarantee you there was old childhood learning operating. Basically the I don't fit in with this family mindset. That is what's going to set her up. That's what's going to screw her up to not be happy with where she is and what she's doing. Many of us, I think, end up at some point in our life returning to the scene of the crime, if you want to call it that, for another go around in terms of, can I learn to handle this better? Can I learn to process this differently? Can I learn to co-create with the universe different outcomes for myself, regardless of whether anybody else changes, because we don't control that. But interestingly, as we change our thought process about something, over time we can see what happens out there beginning to change. So let's say you've got a boss that you consider to be dangerous and this far away from firing you and unscrupulous and all kinds of not good things, and you operate in fear. You tiptoe around, you don't show him or her things, you avoid, and they end up being in your business, wanting to know what you're doing, yada, yada. Can you see how your choice of response there sets up that dynamic? You're contributing to that dynamic. And as when we're in our victim stance, because we all get there, and someone says, you do realize you're contributing to this, we are not happy. We get all offended. We feel like you don't get it. You're blaming the victim. But really what's happening there is we need to take a look at what kind of responsibility do I want to own for contributing to this outcome that we have, and what do I want to change, and see what happens. That's kind of the whole gist of the book we've been working our way through, Taking the War Out of Your Words. When you adjust what you put out there in the world, what you get back sometimes adjusts very quickly. Sometimes it may take some time. But again, so let's say with that boss, you decide to go and say, just wanted you to know I'm working on X, or just wanted you to know Y happened and here's how I'm dealing with it. And you're very direct and whatever. The boss may still come back with the same old kind of response, but you are not in the same place. You are not responding the same. So that old dynamic isn't going to work. I go back to my vending machine analogy. So the boss expects a certain response from you. When you don't give the boss that response, things may escalate for a little bit as the boss tries to get you back into your old pattern. Just lovingly and kindly refuse to go there. Stay in your strength. Stay grounded. Keep the bigger picture in mind. I am dealing with this particular circumstance as a part of a much bigger thing. When you keep your eye on that bigger thing, you don't want to fight the battle, win the battle, and lose the war. You want to be paying attention to the war. There may be certain battles, I hate that languaging, but it's kind of what we, the warlike people, have utilized. Think of it in terms of a game. Let's say you're playing tennis. You want to think about the whole match. You don't want to think about just the set, or just the game, or just the shot. You want to keep it. Yes, you're focused on that particular shot, but you want to keep the whole match in mind, right? So that's kind of what this card is saying. All right, let's read it again. The great thing about material things, those you have and those you don't, is that they never lie about what you've been thinking. Good morning, Pat. Glad you are here. What a relief, huh? Thoughts become things. The universe. Thoughts become things. That's also how we end up repeating patterns in our lives. So let's say we have a pattern of being codependent, okay? If we have not done that deeper work of mining up, where did this come from? Why do I have this? What is maintaining this? Making the changes that need to be made, we're going to keep repeating that pattern regardless of who we're with. If we're around people, it's almost like magnetic. So you dump the spouse who was, thank you, glad it's helping. If you dump the spouse who was abusive, but you're still in a codependent mindset, it's like you're sending out a beacon for another abusive spouse to come your way. You must change the thought process. I'm reading the newest Barbara Hewson book on women and money, and I love her story. I just think her story is so outrageous that it really helps us all look at our money stuff and our life stuff and this card stuff. So her story is that she's the daughter of the R in H&R Block. She was a trust fund baby. She had lots of money available to her that her father had set up. But because of the era that she was born in, the late 50s, early 60s, when she got married, she learned nothing about money. Her father taught his daughters nothing about money. Marry well. That was the message. So she marries this guy who's a stockbroker, and he proceeds to lose almost all of her money. Almost all of her money. And then her father hollers at her for not having reined him in. She was blind to it because no one had ever taught her how to see what was happening with the money. And she was just as happy to say, okay, fine, you manage it because I don't want to learn this. I don't want the discomfort of learning this. Good morning, Beth. Welcome, welcome. So She decides finally to get a divorce. She's got 3 little girls, no job history, etc. $1 million tax bill, and her father refuses to help her, and she's on her own. She's got to figure this out. Here's what I want to tell you about that. She figured it out. So if you're sitting in your circumstances going, well, there's no way any of this is going to get better, I can't fix this, blah, 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 I want you to think about her with 3 little girls, no visible means of support, $1 million tax bill against her, and she dug out. She took the time, she was willing to be uncomfortable, she learned the stuff she needed to learn, and she figured it out. So don't tell me you can't dig out, all right? I've had clients with $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 in credit card debt, and we figured it out. You can dig out. You can dig out. So, thoughts become things. What are your thoughts? And I'm not a fan of the fake it till you make it idea, but I think a variation of that can be useful, which is you try it on. You pretend. It's practice. It's air guitar is fake it till you make it. Practicing learning to play a guitar is practice, okay? That's what we're doing. We're going to practice. Whatever it is that makes us uncomfortable, whatever it is that we want to avoid at all costs, good morning, Gwen, because that is exactly what's going to be creating your current circumstances. If you're avoiding something, it's chasing after you. Here it comes. It's running after you. Stop. Turn. Face it. What do I need to know about you? Whatever it is, okay? It might be debt. It might be terrible job. It might be kids running amok. It might be whatever. Husband having an affair. I don't care what it is. Turn, stop, look at it. What do I need to face here? What do I need to do to be brave enough to face it? Most of us need more support. So here's the practical rebels, you guys. Step up, step in, lean in to the support that we can give you for whatever it is you need to be addressing, not running away from anymore. Do I know that this is scary? Absolutely true. Yep, exactly. What you resist persists. Yep. So, and I like the idea of nevertheless. She persists. We persist. Keep going. We cannot fail as long as we are moving forward, as long as we're doing something. Even if we're sliding backwards, we haven't failed. We're simply waiting to find the right foothold to stop the backward slide, okay? Then we'll move forward again. Sometimes I think we have to go backward to move over a little bit so we can go further forward, all right? So, my wish for you today is that you will take a look at what your life shows you. All those things, the things you have, the things you don't, the things you're doing, the things you aren't, all that stuff, who you are, who you aren't. What is it telling you? What is it pointing out to you? Hey, take a look over here. There's something here that needs some attention, needs to be addressed. And then we're going to be working on this. We have been working on this, haven't we? All the way along. How do I change my language? How do I change my beliefs? How do I take some baby steps? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And the hows. I'm going to repeat my old saw. How is less important than making the commitment to doing it. I have no idea how to do this, but I'm committing to doing it. I'm going to fail forward to success. I'm going to fumble, and eventually I'm going to get the damn ball across the line. All right? Pick something. Stake your claim to it. Write it on a card, put it in front of you. Oh, I've got one of my favorite ones. I was ruffling through my cards yesterday and picked out a new one to stare at. Move ahead anyway. The soul knows the way through. Move ahead anyway. The soul knows the way through. So there's a whole lot of things I don't know. But am I going to figure them out on the way? You betcha. You betcha. So have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Thoughts become things. Bye-bye.